Okay, what's up guys? Rob here. So, I'm going to explain how I did the Camellya solo clear on floor 2 of the Hazard Tower. So this took about an hour and a half for me to kind of figure out and kind of get the hang of exactly what I needed to do, what order, all that stuff. But once I got the hang of it, it became a lot easier to do more consistently. So let's get started with the explanation. So first, as you can see, let's talk about the enemies first. Okay, so we have these three pillar-looking dudes here. They'll shoot fireballs at you, so if you kind of go far away, they'll shoot fireballs. So you can't really stay like on the wolf side and away from them. They don't move though, no matter what. And if you're close to them, sometimes they can like slam their head into you. So for the most part though, they do get stunned if you hit them. So I use that to my advantage to kind of get in the middle here and hit them, stun them so that they can't hit me, and focus mostly on the wolves. Now the wolves are the real problem with this one, because the wolves have a bunch of attacks that are pretty instantaneous. Like there's no startup, they just immediately shoot like 3 ice shots, or they'll immediately like do a flip and hit you with their tail. They only have one attack that you can parry, but they didn't really do it all that often, so I never considered it consistent. The most important move they do is the ice beam, because the ice beam allows you to dodge, and I'll get more into that later. So what I do is I first run up, skill, and then burst. So I burst here just to do some damage to all the enemies, and then it stuns the dudes behind me, which gives me time to kind of at least make sure they don't hit me first, and then I can start and do my skill here. Okay, and I give time to turn around the camera. So as you can see, I dodged that hit there. So that's why the dodging the ice beam is very important, because the most important thing that I need to do here is before this hits 4 minutes 45 seconds, I absolutely need to do her nuke. So the only way you can do her nuke is if you have full concerto. And if you look, every single dodge gives you like a big chunk of it. So the fastest way to actually get it is to do multiple dodges. And the best way to do multiple dodges is to just dodge the ice beam like 3 or 4 times in a row like I did. So dodge, 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 dodge. And then one more dodge, and now I'm almost full. And that got me to be full, so I was able to do the nuke. Wait, sorry, I was already full at that point. Okay. So yeah, if you look here, dodge, 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 dodge. So now I'm almost full. One more dodge. Okay, now I can do the nuke. I do the nuke. The nuke immediately kills all 3 of the dudes behind me. I have more than 4 minutes 45 seconds, so I'm good. I'll explain why I need that timing later. But now both wolves are stunned, and I just can finish them off here very, very quickly. So now the mech abomination comes in. When the mech abomination comes in, it tends to really, really quickly do an attack that can grab you and kill you. So I dodged immediately because of that. Now I pretty much just spin until I see something. The mech abomination's good point is that pretty much, except for that first attack, everything it does has a big wind-up, so it's really, really easy to see when it's going to do something. Okay. See, so big wind up, and the big slam down. So if it hits with its right arm first, like that, like it did there, like if it just does one hit, like that, that's just one hit. Generally, it doesn't do multiple hits. But if it starts with the other hand first, and you see the other hand go up, then it's going to do 2, and then it'll always do the slam down every single time. And as long as you learn the timing for it, you can get a bunch of hits in between. So let's look at how I did this again. Okay. So kill them, and then immediately dodge. Okay. As you can see there, I also let out my Echo. So I'm not using Dreamless or Crownless because she has to summon and turn into them. But if you use like the Rose as an Echo, it's a summon, so it just calls it up and it shoots a beam for a little bit of damage. It's nothing insane, but it's better than Crownless or Dreamless, which kind of messes up rotations and takes up too much time. So it did a little bit of damage there. Okay, now I'm just spinning, dodge, 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 keep spinning. Pretty much just keep spinning until you can get your nuke back. I got my nuke back, so now I will immediately nuke and keep spinning. Okay, nuke crits for about 20k. Ults do have invo, but I personally don't like doing them when they have invo and like you're dodging an attack, because generally, if you're dodging an attack, your opponents will come at you and do multiple attacks in a row. So if you dodge one with the ult, cool, but then you're going to get hit with the next one and die. So I actually like to do it when I know they're just not going to do an attack, and then I can reorient myself really quickly. So that's why I did it there. Okay, and that crits as well. And then we just spin, slam down. I thought I dodged, I didn't dodge, but I had enough life to survive, so. So for people who don't play Camellya, they're like, how do you know when you can do nuke? Well, obviously you can see it with the E, but if you look at this is a 25-second timer. So as this timer goes down, you'll know like, oh, okay, I have like this much time left until my next nuke. So now it's about 12 seconds or 10 seconds have passed by. So I will just keep spinning and make sure I just don't get hit. And that's really it. Again, I shoot Echo there, just for a little bit of damage. If I'm too high in the air, I can't shoot Echo. Oh, I got nuked, so I immediately nuke. And we're just going to repeat the same thing again. Just keep spinning. For some reason, Mech Abomination just has long periods of time where it stands there and does nothing. And it's pretty cool that Camellya can kind of be above it, because she is pretty safe up there. There are a couple of hits that can get her, but for the most part, stuff like that just won't hit her. I dodged just in case, you know, but like still. And there, I would have had to dodge, but I broke its bar the second time, so I was able to finally get it stunned. And now, as you can see, we're almost at our next nuke, so I will just nuke when I have a chance. Nuke, it crits, and we keep spinning. So, because you can do a nuke once every 25 seconds, that's why I originally said you had to have 4 minutes 45 seconds. Because in order to get 4 nukes done against Mech Abomination, you need 100 seconds, which is 1:40. And accounting for like a couple of seconds in between like the exact time you can do a nuke when you press a button when it actually lets you recharge, having the extra 5 seconds or so of leeway is really important. And there are also moments when it's like you have nuke, but you can't literally nuke that exact second because you're going to die. You need to dodge first. So that's why I said if I have above 4 minutes 45 seconds, then I will continue the run. Okay, so now I just have to wait until I can get my next nuke up and not die. If you notice, I'm running low on stamina, and if you don't have stamina, you can't dodge. So I want to make sure I safely get down. So I'm going to do my skill here and slam myself down on the floor at a safe time. Okay, just dodge, dodge, and as you can see, I got nuke up, but I need to dodge this first, and we do nuke, and that's it. So, having the extra couple of seconds here, because if you look, I had nuke ready at 3:0, it looked like 3:05. 3:05.71 is when I had nuke ready. Right? So if I didn't have a few extra seconds of leeway and say that was like 3:02, between the 3:05 and the 3:02, that was like 2.5 seconds. those 2.5 seconds are huge. If I was 3 seconds later, maybe, on the on everything, I would not have cleared, right? So that's why it's important that you just get your concerto up as fast as possible and can nuke at the fastest possible time. Here, I actually nuked extremely quickly. I nuked at 48, it looks like. So that means that even if I didn't nuke the exact second that it came up, I still have like 8 seconds of leeway, which is why I had 3 seconds left over at the end. If this was 2 seconds later, then I would have had, you know, probably less time. So, but yeah, the important thing is just to make sure that you don't die. If you run out of stamina, then just make sure. But here, the Mech Abomination was enough life where, like, a single nuke would probably kill it, and nuke burst would definitely kill. So that's why I wasn't too worried about doing a ton of damage. Like, just like do little hits, and now the nuke. Okay. And yeah, that's the 3-star clear with Solo Camellya. So the hardest part was definitely figuring out the best way to beat the wolves and these, because it's very easy to just start spinning and then you get hit and die. If you get frozen, then you have to restart. Sometimes what happens is they don't attack as much as you want, and you can't get your dodge up, and you can't get concerto up fast enough, so you have to restart. Sometimes the 2 wolves and the 3 pillars aren't grouped together, so when you do your nuke, what happens is something stays alive, and then it just takes too long to kill that last remaining thing that didn't get hit. So there's a lot that goes into it, but pretty much if you follow this strategy and your Camellya solo is strong enough, you can do this this stage solo with her. Boom. Yeah, that feels so good. And then, yeah, they're right next to each other, which is perfect, because I could just kill them together, and it gave me 1 minute and 40 seconds to kill the Mech Abomination. So, my Camellya is M2, so I got 1 copy from the gacha. I lost the 50-50, went to pity to get her, guaranteed. Lost the 50-50 again, went to pity to get her, guaranteed, and then I bought M2 with Coral. I went to pity to get her weapon, and I got 2 of them in a single 10 pull, so that was pretty lucky. So I just made my 1 weapon really strong. Because the way I see it is, because you can share weapons, I'd rather have 2 characters sharing a stronger sword than 1 character on one and 1 character on another. Especially since I have the standard sword too, which I could put on a second character if I do need to use them in the same team. Alright, and that's all for my Camellya video. I hope you enjoyed. I guess we can do a single full playthrough at the end with no interruptions. And I will just do some talking about everything. Yeah, so I thought that, yeah, dodging when in the skill mode is kind of a pain, because she moves awkwardly and it's not the same as when she's outside of skill. But it really is, yeah, there's my echo. But once you get used to how she dodges, it's actually not too bad. Like, as you can see here, I've already kind of gotten used to how long it takes, the animations, everything. And it's nice that she can use her ult in the air, and that it doesn't really stop anything that she's doing. That there was the biggest mistake I did. Thankfully, I had enough life left over where I didn't have any issues, but that could have ended a run there. And I've had multiple runs where I just miss a single dodge against Mech Abomination, and it's over. But thankfully, Mech Abomination is pretty slow. It just stands there a lot of times and does nothing. So it really does give you a lot of opportunities to just sit there and, you know, beat the crap out of it. Yeah, obviously, Camellya is better with partners, but as a main DPS, with enough investments, you can run her solo. I will say every single Echo I have, my 4-star, both of my 3-star Havoc ones, both of my 1-stars, they all have double crit. And I think all of them have at least one like attack or basic attack or liberation damage or some sort of relevant stat. I could have echoed here. I probably should have because it's a summon. But I was just so hyper-focused on doing her burst there. Alright, anyways, that's all. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and please tune into my stream. Later.